Welcome back. And now it's time for our press review for today. It's a pleasure to have with us Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Shamsi University. Good morning, Doctor, and welcome to the show. So let's start by taking a look at the banner of Al-Ahram newspaper. Sisi, Egypt can't bear more unsuccessful trials. Presidential candidate Field Marshal Abdel Fattah al-Sisi asserted that the national interest implies choosing the best choice in every field because the nation can't bear any more unsuccessful trials. Al-Sisi stated that the democratic experiment needs around 20 years in order to be real. During his meeting with the heads and editors-in-chief of the private and national newspapers, the presidential candidate said that the Egyptian people demand an apology and punishment to the Brotherhood members. El-Sisi also stressed that the media is witnessing an unprecedented freedom and called for setting a communication mechanism between the government and the media. He also denied the privatization of any of the national newspapers, adding that such agencies must develop themselves and adjust their stances as the government will not provide them any more aid. Finally, he asserted that Egypt abides by the peace treaty and conducts direct talks with the Gaza sector and Israel. So let me first ask you about how do you see his meeting with the journalist and editor-in-chief?
Actually, these meetings, because it's not the only meeting we are witnessing, for the last 2 or 3 days, a very important campaign between the two runners, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Hamdin Sabahi. And I believe that there is a lot of debate, interaction among, all Egyptians are talking, media and people everywhere. And I believe this is a very good signal and positive signal for democracy.
Yesterday was in Al-Fayoum governorate and he held over there some
Of course, this is quite important. The people now, Egyptians are thinking about that we have a democratic debate and we have 2 programs for presidential campaign and we are discussing the pros and cons of each program and each runner is trying to get the majority of votes and I believe they are presenting, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is presenting his program for a presidential campaign including different dimension, economic, social, political,
education, medical.
All aspects of life, what he's intending to do for Egyptians. At the same time, Hamdin Sabahi is having conferences every day and talks in media about his program too. And this debate is quite healthy for democratic
and important to
Egypt.
us as well to understand the personality of each because we're not going to discuss anything about people sitting with him as much as we're going to discuss to evaluate and understand the personality of the presidential candidate.
Of course.
Just for example, when we take a look at the Field Marshal Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the way he's speaking, the way he's organizing his mind, offering solutions.
And this is presidential campaign, this is everywhere.
And on the other hand, the presidential candidate,
and people should think about each program to our extent, the vision and mechanisms, because Egyptians now, after failure for the last years, 30 years and more, they are thinking quite well. And after, Egyptians are facing severe challenges. Not only, the economics scene is dominating everything, but at the same time, people are suffering. The quality of life has deteriorated significantly after the revolution. Economic perspective, we have inflation and at the same time recession. We have stagflation and people cannot find opportunities of job, and at the same time there is increase in price level. So the quality of life is becoming more and more challenging for Egyptians. So they are trying now, Egyptians are looking forward for new future, somebody who can make the compromise among all Egyptians, harmonization among all Egyptians. At the same time, without that we cannot advance into a better life in which we have democracy, equal opportunities opportunities for all Egyptians, superiority of law, and at the same time, the most important challenge is economical. To what extent, you know, the new president can offer opportunities of job and maintain prices, stability. So these are severe challenges that Egypt is facing. And I believe during the last 2 days, there was a debate regarding the two programs, to how extent each program is going to offer a better quality of life for Egyptians. But it's quite clear that we have two different perspectives, which means that despite that both runners are insisting that privatization is, you know, not going to have its way for future of Egypt. At the same time, you know, Hamdin is concentrating on social perspective, the role of government and combating poverty, you know, improving quality of life. But El-Sisi looks more, you know, objective regarding what is going on, regarding to how extent, you know, prices can be controlled or stabilized by an intensive role of the government. At the same time, how Egypt is going to be restructured regarding geographical map of Egypt is going to change completely. What about mega project, the importance of mega project, and people, to what extent we are not going to be concentrated on just 7% of Egyptian land. It's going to be extended into more, you know, geographic dispersed of people for all governorates. So, you know, you can find, you know, for this period, you are going to find the people are going to ask and to discuss and to see the objectivity of each program, so that when they go, and this is the most important thing, that Egyptians should go all together to exercise their democratic rights for selecting